In the dead of night, a little girl is jolted awake by the same nightmare over and over, she and her sister trapped on the pavement, a speeding car hurtling toward them. "The car is coming! The car is coming!" they scream in terror. These were not bad dreams, they were bone-chilling memories. Across cultures, stories of reincarnation have persisted for millennia. But for one family in 1950s England, those stories would become a haunting reality. It all began in May 1957 in Hexham, Northumberland. 11-year-old Joanna Pollock, nicknamed Joan, in some accounts, and her 6-year-old sister Jacqueline were walking to church when an erratic driver intentionally swerved into them. The impact tossed them into the air like cricket balls, killing both sisters instantly. Their friend Anthony also died en route to hospital. The nation mourned, but for the grieving Pollock parents something even stranger was unfolding. Florence and John Pollock were devastated. Florence fell into deep grief. John, however, clung to a strange hope. He believed his daughters might return in a new body. In October 1958, Florence gave birth, not to one baby, but to identical twin girls, named Gillian and Jennifer. Even before they could speak, people noticed something eerie. Jennifer had 2 birthmarks, one on her hip and one on her forehead, that exactly matched marks Jacqueline had. Jacqueline's forehead bore a scar from an earlier fall. As the twins grew, uncanny evidence piled up. By age 3, Gillian and Jennifer were demanding their late sister's toys. They insisted each belonged to them. Gillian pointed to a doll and said, "That was my doll, Santa gave it to me." But it was actually Joanna's doll. Jennifer identified Jacqueline's toys in the same way. When playing, Gillian often modeled Jennifer, exactly how her elder sister Joanna had treated Jacqueline. They even shared the same games and favorite foods. One day Florence hid all the old toys in the attic. When she finally brought them out, the twins immediately named each piece as if recalling them. Every doll, dress, and toy was correctly labeled. Neither twin quarreled over the toys, as their older sisters never had. The girls even remembered how each toy was divided. Gillian got this doll and Jennifer got that, mirroring exactly how Joanna and Jacqueline had shared them. It was as though they were playing out their sister's childhood. The chilling memories didn't stop there. When Florence overheard the girls reenacting the fatal crash, she froze. She found Gillian cradling Jennifer's head and whispering, "The blood's coming out of your eyes. That's where the car hit you." Later John confirmed that, indeed, Jacqueline's head had been bandaged exactly above the eyes after the crash. In another incident, Gillian pointed at Jennifer's forehead and said, "That is the mark Jennifer got when she fell on a bucket. The very fall that gave Jacqueline her scar." These were details neither girl could have learned normally. When the family moved back to Hexham and visited 4-year-old Gillian's old neighborhood, the twins again astonished everyone. They pointed to the playground Joanna had loved and said, "We want to go there," even though either had ever played there. They led their parents directly to their late sister's school and knew its name. At home, they refused lunches until Florence offered to send them to school. "We've done that before," they said, something only Joanna and Jacqueline had experienced. Even their phobias matched. Both girls screamed and froze when a car engine started nearby, clutching each other in terror as if reliving the crash. On one occasion, John heard the twins cry, "The car! The car! It's coming for us!" At night they had nightmares of being run over by a vehicle. It was as though Joanna and Jacqueline's fears and memories were embedded in these children. This wasn't coincidence. Puzzled and desperate for answers, the Pollocks finally relented to the idea of reincarnation. In 1963, they contacted Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist at the University of Virginia who was studying children with claimed past life memories. Stevenson traveled to Hexham. He examined Gillian and Jennifer, interviewed the parents at length, and noted all the uncanny details. By later tests, the twins were confirmed to be identical. Stevenson wrote up the case in his landmark research on reincarnation. He commented on the statistical improbability. With identical twins and no twinning in the family, even their very birth seemed fated. Stevenson later listed the Pollock twins among some of the strongest existing evidence in favor of reincarnation. In his books, he compared Gillian and Jennifer's memories, birthmarks, and behaviors to other cases worldwide. He found that about 1/3 of all documented past life cases involve birthmarks or birth defects matching wounds from a previous life, a remarkable pattern that appeared here. But not everyone is convinced. Skeptics note that the only people witnessing these phenomena were the parents, especially John Pollock, who already believed in reincarnation. Writer Ian Wilson called the case evidentially weak on that ground. Others suggested simple explanations. Perhaps Florence, haunted by her daughter's deaths, had unconsciously impressed those memories on her unborn twins. Researcher Richard Rockley speculated that family or community talk about the accident could have seeped into the twins' minds. He admitted, however, that none of these theories explain the matching birthmarks and precise statements. As Wilson himself conceded, many reincarnation cases, unlike this one, involve no family connection at all, making normal explanation impossible. Even John Pollock addressed the criticism head-on. He told a reporter bluntly, "If I had not believed in reincarnation, I would not have shared. There would almost certainly have been no case, or none worth reporting." In other words, he insisted he only told the story because he was convinced, implying the children's memories existed regardless of his beliefs. The Pollock twins are not alone. In the 1930s, a little girl in India named Shanti Devi began speaking about a past life as a woman called Lugdi who had died years earlier. Shanti identified Lugdi's relatives and home, even describing hidden objects from Lugdi's life. Her case was so compelling that Mahatma Gandhi appointed a committee of inquiry to verify it. Cases like Shanti's and others, such as a toddler who recalled being a World War II fighter pilot, have intrigued researchers. They all share the same eerie hallmarks: impossible knowledge and unlearned memories. So what are we to make of this? Are Gillian and Jennifer the living proof of soul transference, or is there a more prosaic explanation we've missed? Today the twins live normal adult lives and no longer remember the past. Stevenson's records show that when interviewed in their 20s, they accepted they might have been their sisters reborn, but they were mildly skeptical. The unanswered question hangs in the air: did souls really leap from Joanna and Jacqueline into these newborn girls, or is this a miracle of coincidence? Speaking to camera, we leave you with that haunting question. Reincarnation is an idea as old as humanity, and the Pollock story remains one of the most perplexing case studies out there. Let us know what you think. Is this evidence of life after death, or a mystery explainable by chance? If you found this story captivating, give us a like, hit subscribe for more mysterious cases, and comment below with your thoughts. Until next time, sweet dreams, and maybe keep a flashlight by your bed. The haunting journey of Joan and her sisters may be over, but the echoes of their story will linger, if only in our dreams.